We have an exclusive first look inside the long-awaited Butte County jail expansion. Why Sheriff Corey Honey says he sometimes doubted it would ever happen.
Happening now, a special meeting to fill the vacant seat on the Red Bluff City Council.
And there's new hope for a beloved Reading bookstore after severe flood damage forced it to close.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
After more than a decade of planning and construction, the Butte County Jail expansion is now complete.
Action News Now reporter Bea Barbosa toured the new facility today and brings us an exclusive first look.
There are times when, frankly, I would ask myself, is this ever going to happen? Are we going to be able to, make it across the finish line?
It's 16 years in the making. The Butte County jail expansion began in 2011, but did not break ground until 2023 due to delays in funding the $44 million project, as well as natural disasters, COVID, and disputes with the first contractor slowing progress. Complete with a new booking intake center, an updated housing unit, and a medical and mental health care wing, all large enough to handle the increase in inmates they've seen since 2011, when a state law shifted responsibility for housing certain inmates from the state to counties.
That resulted in us housing inmates for much lengthier sentences. With that comes the need to provide medical and mental health care to people who are in custody for lengthier periods of time, as well as provide programming or educational opportunities. The old facility did not have that.
Sheriff Honey says the new facility will help them better accommodate inmates while also improving public safety.
Sometimes we had to make very tough decisions and release people who, frankly, were a risk to public safety. This allows us to have more capacity and hopefully be able to keep those people in place until ultimately they're either provided programming or they serve their entire sentence.
In Orville, Bea Barbosa, Action News Now.
The new jail expansion is set to open in phases, with the booking and intake areas expected to open this February.
Happening tonight, the Red Bluff City Council will decide who will fill the role held by former Councilman Cody Strzok. 8 people applied to fill that city council seat, and whoever receives a motion to appoint with 3 or more votes will immediately be selected. Now, this decision comes with a deadline, and if they cannot decide, the risk calling a special election that could cost taxpayers between $30,000 and $40,000. Under state law, the city has 60 days to fill that seat or call for a special election. That deadline is January 24th.
New developments: the man accused of killing a woman and hiding her body inside a wall for months, Renato Start Espana, will have a preliminary hearing on March 6th. He's charged with torturing and killing Rita Rigsby in January of last year, dousing her body in household cleaner, then wrapping her in an air mattress and tarp. DA Mike Ramsey says investigators found her body sealed into a wall while investigating a separate child sex crimes case back in September. Start Espana pleaded not guilty to both the sex crime and murder charges.
New tonight, sheriff's deputies arrested a suspect after a chase in Butte County. It began about 11:30 this morning on Highway 70 near Cottonwood Road in Concal. Police say they tried to pull over a motorcycle rider for not having a proper license plate. They say that rider, Kevin Coleman, sped off and then crashed and then tried to run. Deputies say they used a helicopter and UAV to track him down and make the arrest.
Take a look at this video from our Blake Mayfield out in Reading today on this beautiful, gorgeous, sunny day. Still cool out there, but it looks like it could be summertime.
Look at Mount Shasta, that giant mountain way up the road there, but it's so big,
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. Well, Howie joins us now with a look at conditions going into this Thursday night.
I don't think anything about today made me feel it was winter. It was beautiful out there, 60s and 70s, lots of sunshine. I know as the sun's going down, we're still hanging out at some spots further north of Reading in the 70s. A lot of other places already cooling down into the upper 50s and the lower to middle 60s. In the mountains at the moment, though, dropping down to the 30s and 40s. Chilly, chilly, chilly. Here's our visibility, looking really good in most locations. Again, look out for some areas of patchy fog overnight and into the morning. Winds, for the most part, a little bit breezier today, but really not too bad. We're used to 28, 30, 32, 35 mile per hour wind gusts. We're going to be dry for quite some time over the next week, but after about a week from now, We could see a breakdown in that high pressure ridge, and then clouds, and maybe rain moves in. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Howie.
Well, a longtime Reading bookstore is working to reopen after the 50-year storm's flooding destroyed thousands of books. Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield shows us how the community helped make this possible.
I'm here today at Cal's Books on West Side Road in Reading, where the 52-year-old business is looking to bounce back after flooding threatened to close it for good last month. The bookstore suffered extensive damage, with 18 inches of water making its way inside, damaging anywhere from 25,000 to 40,000 books in total.
When we got the news, really, I mean, we were pretty distraught. Both my partner and I, we shed our tears about it.
Immediately following the flood, it appeared that Cal's would have to close for good. That is, until the store's customers stepped in.
We've had a lot of people engaged with wanting to be involved and do what they can to help. The outpour has been just genuinely amazing.
Yeah. Perez and Larkin say that so far, the bookstore has raised more than $6,000 in a fundraiser to reopen the store. And while its ultimate goal is $50,000, they say just $10,000 would be good enough to reopen the store in some capacity, with community members owning it.
We can have a space where people can enjoy themselves and be able to exist together.
Reporting in Reading, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
Cal's Books first opened in Reading more than 50 years ago, back in 1974.
Sheriff's deputies made a major drug bust on Interstate 5. Tehama County officials say a deputy recovered 22 pounds of meth and nearly 2 pounds of fentanyl pills during a stop in Corning. They arrested Mary Powell of Washington State on drug charges connected to the bust.
Sutter County Sheriff's deputies arrested a Live Oak man who they say was manufacturing illegal guns. Kenneth Mosley allegedly tried to run when they served a search warrant at his home on N Street, but he was captured and arrested. Investigators say the search turned up a rifle, ammunition, and other evidence. Mosley was already on post-release supervision for a prior gun-related offense.
New tonight, the community is rallying to honor the memory of an Oroville man, Sean Allen. We told you back on New Year's Day that he was shot and killed in downtown Chico. Action News Now reporter Shadi Poulin shows us what's in the works.
It's been over 2 weeks since 30-year-old Sean Allen was shot and killed in the early morning hours in Chico. Allen was raised in Oroville, and he grew up going to the African American Family and Cultural Center. So the center is working to find a way to help his family with funeral services next week.
If you want a way to help, we're doing like a t-shirt fundraiser for $10. We do need dishes made for the repast, which for the service on Tuesday.
Organizers tell me that the community can also help by dropping off diapers, formula, gift cards for Allen's 3 children. All the money raised will go towards Allen's family. Allen was involved in forest work in Forbstown and was the sole provider for his children, the youngest being just 2 months old. They are also looking for servers at the repast as well.
Yeah, if you would like to help out with any part of the service, just get a hold of the African American Family Cultural Center and we can set it up. One thing that this definitely did for us is that it brought our community back together because we've all kind of just been scattered.
The funeral is open to the public. It's next Tuesday at 10:30 at the Nazarene Church in Oroville. Reporting in Oroville, I'm Shadi Poulin with Action News Now.
We reached out to the Chico Police Department to see if they have any new leads on finding the person who shot and killed Allen. They said the case is still under active investigation. They don't have anything new that they can release to the public, though, at this time.
A moped rider died in a deadly crash in Willows. The CHP says it happened just after 3:30 yesterday afternoon at West Sycamore and North Culver Streets. Officers say 74-year-old Elton Garner was driving a pickup truck and hit the moped as he pulled out from a stop sign. Moped rider Daniel Perry died there at the scene. Investigators say they do not believe drugs or alcohol played a role in the crash.
New at 6, a pollution case tied to a diesel spill in Colusa County has now been settled. The California Office of Spill Prevention and Response says Van Brothers, an agricultural company based near Williams, will pay $95,000 after a red-dyed diesel spill contaminated Salt Creek in 2024. Officials say about 1,400 gallons of fuel spilled when an employee failed to shut off a tank. The fuel was pushed into a nearby ditch that led to the creek. The employee pled guilty to a misdemeanor Fish and Game Code violation and will serve 1 year of probation and pay a fine.
A Chico mother is speaking out tonight after several close calls with fast-moving cyclists on Old Humboldt Road. Heather Blue says since the road was remodeled about a year and a half ago and closed off to cars, she's noticed that cyclists are not always following proper passing etiquette. She's worried for the safety of her 6-year-old daughter and her dog that she goes on walks with there. We also checked in with a local cycle shop owner in Chico to learn what that proper etiquette is.
It's just the fact that they're not announcing themselves when they come up on pedestrians. I would like there to be a sign posted that says bikers need to announce themselves as they are coming up on pedestrians or anybody, and or a fine be put in place if they are not announcing themselves.
Well, it's a two-way street. Both the pedestrians and the bikers have to show respect for each other. Some bicycle riders have to be mindful of other people using it. My suggestion for pedestrians is that they stay on they oppose the bicycle traffic.
Under California's 3 Feet for Safety Act, cyclists are required to slow to a safe speed and give an audible warning like a bell or use a verbal call before passing pedestrians.